Mike Rooney. We're here to do a free art lesson, and first I'd like to tell you that I'm at Art of the Carolinas 2010. It's a great convention almost of art suppliers and workshop people, so come on, check it out. What we'll do today is I'm going to talk about, now I had a previous lesson on form, but it was in values. It was basically in black and white. Now what I want to do is I want to expand that concept, and I want to show you how you use color, because very few of us just paint in black and white. So I'm going to show you how you can express form using color instead of just black and white. So it might be nice to go back to the other lessons, part 1, part 2, part 3 on the values, but I'm going to just go ahead and describe it real simply and real quickly with this clay again. If I wanted to describe a can, and a can is round, it's a cylinder, okay? But first you have to think of it as some basic forms. To get to round, you have to almost see it square first. Now the reason for that is like this. I mean, just think of, while I'm pounding this out, just think of the statue. And you've got this statue of David. The carving, the statue of David is inside of this block of granite or marble, whatever he carved it out of. It's in there. There are round forms inside of this, but this has to be cut away and carved away to get to that form, okay? So to see it, you have to just cut it off into a perfect square. So let's do that first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off into a perfect square. So we start, a cylinder actually is a square first. So we take it and we cut all the sides off and make it a square. See, it wants to keep rocking. All right. So we started off as a perfect square. So let's say that we wanted that block to be red. Now this is good, I left this up here. This was the black and white one, okay? And we described the form. This is lighter, this is darker, so we know the light is hitting straight on here, and then it wraps around to the back of this thing. And we know that the back is square because we don't have any round planes. I didn't hack off the corners of this thing. Or I did, I hacked off the corners of it and made it round, okay? So let's take this one off and let's do it in color. Let's imagine that that was a red block that we were working with. Let's go ahead and take some red, and let's draw a block again, like so. All right, so there's our initial block, and I'm not going to do the shadow behind it or anything like that. All right, so we're trying to describe on a two-dimensional surface that this block actually is round, okay? And we're going to act like the light source is up here. So the light is shining down from the top corner down on the block from this direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this side facing away from the light. I want you to think of this sun over here as a big shower head. Imagine it was a giant shower head in your shower, and everywhere that the water came out of the shower head is light, okay? And the things that would get the wettest would be what? What would get the wettest if this was a shower head sprinkling down water? The top would get the most water, wouldn't it? This side wouldn't get the most water. If it was over here, this side would get the least water. So I'm making an analogy between this being light or being water coming out of a shower head. So this side would get the most light or the most water. This side would get the second most water or light, and this side would get the third. Okay, so let's do that in red. Let's just make it in red for right now. Let's describe a two-dimensional surface, and let's get it to look three-dimensional. So let's take red and put the shadow side, the side that's getting the least amount of water or light, either one you want to say, would be this side. Now in color, traditionally, just for a little 8-minute, 10-minute free art lesson, I can't get into too much about color temperature, but if the light is warm, if the light is warm like most sunlight is, the shadow sides of things are cooler. So if you have two reds on your palette, and I have cadmium red light here and alizarin crimson, you would use alizarin crimson for the shadow side because the shadow side is the coolest side of the form. So you're going to use alizarin crimson on the shadow side, and you're going to use a warmer cadmium red on this side because the light is warm. Sunlight has a lot of yellow in it, and so it's going to be warmer. So you're going to use cad red on this side. Now look how by using that red, the lighter, warmer red on this side, I make this side look lighter and warmer. It looks like it's facing the sun, doesn't it? Or facing the light or facing the sun, because it's lighter and it's a little bit warmer. Now if I take this and make the top even warmer, I took yellow, I just added yellow or orange and lighten it up and warm it up just a little bit. I got to make sure it stays red and not orange. As long as I make it a little bit lighter, a little bit warmer, the top looks like it's getting most of the water or the light from the shower head. So I used the cooler, darker red here, and I used the warmer red here, and then I even made it warmer. I almost went to orange, didn't I? Let's put a little more red in it because we don't want it to look orange. We want it to look red. Now look at that. That looks like sunlight is coming from this side, and now this box has three sides. Now what I'll do in the next lesson, part 2 of this lesson, is I'll hack off some sides and I'll make it even more round. So come back for part 2 of this lesson.